The Queen's jewelry collection is unmatched in today's world. Her collection of stunning diamonds and sparkling tiaras, often worn by beautiful princesses, gives us a peek into the amazing world of her personal treasures. The Queen's dazzling display includes tiaras, rubies, and emeralds, all adding to the majesty of royalty. For centuries, kings and queens have worn these priceless gems as symbols of their royal heritage and birthright. In this video, let's explore the Queen's jewelry collection, highlighting some of her most famous pieces, their history, and their current value. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tap the bell button so you won't miss any of our videos. Centuries ago, the jewels in the St. Edward's crown were rented for coronations. Nowadays, they are real. Crafted from gold, it holds 444 gemstones. During King Charles's grandfather's coronation, King George VI, in 1937, the Archbishop had to be very careful when placing the crown on the king's head. To make it more comfortable, the crown rests on a velvet cushion, a tradition started by King Henry IV about 500 years ago. After the coronation, the royal family gathers, each member displaying crowns, symbols of the monarchy designed to be worn and admired. In 1937, Queen Elizabeth donned a crown that featured the renowned Koh-i-Noor diamond. Before her, in 1902, Queen Alexandra, the wife of King Edward VII, wore a crown that also included the Koh-i-Noor. The current Queen Consort's crown is decorated with diamonds that once belonged to Queen Victoria, but the Koh-i-Noor's story makes it exceptional. During the 1902 ceremony, the crown held the Koh-i-Noor alongside 3,688 other diamonds. If Charles and Diana had remained together, she would have worn the Queen Consort's crown at his coronation. The Koh-i-Noor, meaning Mountain of Light, has a rich and turbulent past, particularly with the men who owned it. Its history is filled with violence, betrayal, and mystery, as many rulers highly sought it after. Shah Jahan, the creator of the Taj Mahal, owned the gem, but Nader Shah took it after pillaging Delhi and bringing it to Persia. It later became part of the Afghan monarchy, where one prince blinded his brother to prevent him from seeing it. Folklore suggests that every male owner faced a grim fate, leading to the belief that, for safety, only women should wear it. The magnificent Cullinan diamond is the largest diamond ever discovered. It was found near Pretoria, in what is now South Africa, in 1905 and was named after Thomas Cullinan, the chairman of the mining company that unearthed it. After the Anglo-Boer War, the Transvaal government purchased the diamond and, in 1907, presented it to King Edward VII as a gesture of goodwill for his 66th birthday. Because of its enormous size, the diamond had to be carefully split into multiple pieces. The task was given to Joseph Asher of Amsterdam, one of the finest diamond cutters at the time. He studied the stone for several months before deciding where to cut. The Dutch and British royal families were present during the first cut. If he had made a mistake, the diamond could have shattered like a car windshield, but fortunately, the stone split perfectly into two. Afterward, it's said that Asher fainted from the stress of the moment. The pieces were added to the crown jewels to increase their value. The biggest gem, cut from the Cullinan diamond, is the pear-shaped Star of Africa, which weighs 530 carats. This stunning gem is the most valuable of the crown jewels and is featured in the coronation regalia, where it is held in the sovereign's right hand. To showcase this incredible gift to the nation, it was placed in the scepter of the crown jewels. The second largest diamond cut from the Cullinan is set in the Imperial state crown, created in 1838 for Queen Victoria's coronation. This crown is adorned with stunning gems and was worn by Queen Elizabeth II on her coronation day in 1953. The Imperial state crown features the Black Prince's ruby, brought to England in 1367 and later added to the crown jewels by King Henry VIII. Below it sits the massive second Star of Africa, surrounded by emeralds and sapphires. Even though the crown has been adjusted to make it lighter, it still holds 2,800 diamonds. The Queen wears it annually for the state opening of Parliament, continuing a tradition that dates back to Queen Victoria. Despite modifications and updates over the years, the crown has remained the same for 150 to 160 years. From her seat in the House of Lords, the Queen uses this historic crown to outline her government's legislative plans. The third and fourth diamonds from the Cullinan, known as the Lesser Stars of Africa, are usually part of the Queen Consort's crown, but can also be worn separately. These gems were acquired by King Edward VII and remain the Queen's personal property. In 1911, Queen Mary's grandmother wore them as a brooch on her dress, and today they are valued at around £12 million. During the 1937 coronation of King George VI, Queen Mary displayed them pinned to the front of her dress, with her grandchildren, Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret, present. The Queen often wears the Lesser Stars of Africa as a brooch and pairs them with another Cullinan diamond, which she wears as a ring. One of the Queen's treasured pieces is a heart-shaped diamond brooch from the Cullinan. There are also two other diamonds from the Cullinan that were transformed into a beautiful brooch. These stones were taken from the crown jewels and are kept as personal items, always belonging to the monarch. In 1897, Queen Victoria marked her diamond jubilee and was photographed wearing her Collet diamond necklace and earrings, now valued at around £1.5 million. The Queen frequently wears this Collet necklace for the state opening of Parliament. Crafted in 1858, the necklace features a pendant stone called the Lahore diamond. The diamond drops on the earrings, and the bottom of the necklace originally came from the Timor ruby necklace, a gift to Queen Victoria from the East India Company in 1851. These gems are now part of the crown jewels. In 1911, a memorial statue of Queen Victoria was unveiled in front of Buckingham Palace, commemorating her life. The statue depicts her seated on her throne, wearing one of her cherished crowns. When she became queen in 1837, following the death of her uncle King William IV, her crown featured stones from the era of her ancestor King George I. These included the Black Prince's ruby, along with many brilliant pearls and fine sapphires. Later in her life, Queen Victoria commissioned a smaller crown from Garrard, the crown jeweler. This new crown, weighing just 4 ounces, was designed to be lighter and more comfortable, as she suffered from migraines and found her previous crown too heavy. The small crown, crafted in 1870, became a signature piece of her reign. It was designed to fit neatly on the top of her head or the back of her bun, with or without the arches. If there's one thing Queen Victoria treasured the most, it is her husband. Her marriage to Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha was deeply affectionate and happy. Sadly, Albert died when Victoria was just 42. She treasured a sapphire brooch, a wedding gift from Albert, which she called Albert's brooch. This brooch, adorned with diamonds, became a cherished heirloom. Over a century later, her great-great-granddaughter, Queen Elizabeth, regularly wears it on her lapel. The brooch is a beautiful and romantic piece made for Victoria by Albert and given to her on the eve of their wedding. Princess Elizabeth wore the brooch at Princess Anne's christening, which had also been worn by Queen Mary and Victoria's mother on various occasions. The brooch is valued at around £150,000 and reminds of Queen Victoria's legacy. Another significant piece from Queen Victoria's time is her Golden Jubilee necklace from 1887. This necklace features exquisite diamond circles surrounding pearl centers with a drop pearl pendant. A fascinating piece from Queen Victoria's lineage is King George IV's diamond crown, adorned with shamrocks, thistles, and various gemstones. Although this crown was meant for George IV's coronation, it was considered too delicate for the occasion. Consequently, a new crown was created following strict parliamentary regulations. George IV opted for flower bouquets symbolizing England, Scotland, and Ireland, arranged between Maltese crosses. Originally, the crown was designed to be set with semi-precious stones borrowed from jewelers for the coronation. Using genuine stones permanently was rare due to their high cost and the risk of theft. Jewelers would lend the stones for the occasion and then reclaim them afterward to prevent them from being sold or misused. To safeguard against theft, Queen Victoria had her jewels securely attached to the Hanoverian diadem. Many of these stones are still in place today. During the annual state opening of Parliament, the Queen wears the Hanoverian diadem on her journey from Buckingham Palace to the House of Lords. Once she arrives, She swaps it for the more prestigious Imperial state crown. Quite an impressive collection, right? And there are more jaw-dropping and gorgeous jewels that you must see in the second part of this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification button to stay updated on the latest.